or a status to declare. Real, meaningful luxury is a feeling discovered. The opulence of spirit. The relaxed, resplendent luxury of the Sarasota area. Feel the difference.
And then
The boundless natural world exists outside of us, and yet the wonder and beauty of Sarasota's nature lives within each of us.
they're running commercial right now.
Oh,
this is
with
YouTube.
a kind
Oh,
of
they have support
exhilaration that
YouTube
renews itself with every beat of your heart. Come and feel it for yourself. Nature's canvas awaits in Sarasota.
To discover the hidden gems of Sarasota, escape to Sarasota County, where sun-kissed beaches meet award-winning restaurants and vibrant cultural attractions. Plan your unforgettable getaway today.
Sarasota.
Beaches
Ready
and
to discover the hidden gems of Sarasota? Escape to
Good
Sarasota County.
afternoon. We're here live at the Sarasota County Croquet Club in Venice, Florida, for the 2026 Association Laws National Championships put on by the USCA, the United States Croquet Association. This is Michael Albert in the commentary booth, along with Martin Selman, and we're going to try our best to bring you the next match, which is the first round of the quarterfinals between Tom Balding of the U.S. and Edmund Fordyce of New Zealand. Let's see, so Edmund is going to be playing blue and black. Tom is going to be playing red and yellow. Tom has opened on the east boundary, max distance, and Edmund has opened to corner 2. We even have the colors right. He's going to take the B-ball shot at Edmund's blue ball in corner 2. And he has center balled that.
From 13 yards away. Easy.
Routine shot.
Yeah, the aim is to... the aim from Edmund is to leave the ball just slightly outside the corner, so that if he misses on the right, he goes into the corner and gives his opponent a double, gives Ed a double back. If Tom would miss on the left-hand side, he'd probably have a slightly wide double as well, but from 13 yards away, he hit it dead center. Now he's going to probably put blue somewhere in the middle and join up with his red ball over on the east boundary, giving himself a rush into blue to set up a break, and leaving Ed a series of 2 different long shots to try and stop Tom from progressing from there. So Tom's left that yellow ball probably 3 yards from red. His intention is going to be to hit red in, rush red into the court to use blue to get to the first hoop. For someone like Tom who's a good shot, that's probably no issue. For somebody like me that's not, that's a longish and difficult rush.
Oh, Martin, you can hit that ball at least 50% of the time, can't you?
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So Edmund is going to take the shorter of the 2 shots, which helps Tom's break because he'll have Ed's black ball next to red.
Now you're
Ed
assuming that
misses.
Edmund's going to miss this.
If he misses, yeah.
Yeah. Now Edmund's got an interesting approach. He'll walk up, he'll never cast, and he'll just hit. Oh, he's making me a liar. He casted once, but he did miss.
Yeah, so I think Ed's thinking is he wanted to take the shortest shot to give himself the most chance of hitting in order to stop Tom from scoring from here. He's made it slightly easier, but I think his trade-off was that it gives himself a better chance of hitting, and Tom was probably going to make a break out of this regardless of where Ed put his black ball.
Oh, I think so. He's got blue sitting out there in the middle of the court. It's going to be a pretty easy approach to build a ball at 2 and have blue at 1. Tom's done a nice job of kicking black out onto the court about 6 or 7 yards. Boy, he's already got a nice tight pioneer at 2.
And he'll be very happy with that. A couple of yards from the hoop, but directly in line with the hoop, making a relatively easy approach. Yep, that's the first hoop of the game. He's put blue on the right-hand side of the hoop, so he can rush it back to black, is my guess. And he didn't quite have the angle I thought he would from this position, and didn't really have a shot to black after all. So he's rushed it up the lawn and is going to take off to black and bring it back into the break that way. So through hoop 2, this time he does have a rush back to black. Depending on what he wants to do, he may have left a little bit short, but I mean, he'll have no difficulty dealing with that. And he'll load 4 going to black to get back to the blue ball, which is sitting at the third hoop as his hoop 3 pioneer.
Tom's for 3 now.
And again, he cuts that ball roughly in line with the hoop, a bit of an angle, but something is easily manageable.
Martin, I think it's easy to run hoops if you can get your ball within 6 inches of it.
It is. We've seen these hoops are not overly difficult. We've seen a few hoop stuff by these very good players. I think sometimes they do have a little bit of difficulty hitting the ball softly to get through a hoop. Just simply, a lot of golf croquet means they're used to hitting the ball hard, but generally they've been reasonably easy to get through, even from further than 6 inches away. And these guys are such good shots, and 3-4 foot hoops don't seem to faze them at all. The lawns are quite slow as well, which means that players who are used to playing on a faster lawn, we see them leaving balls a bit further from hoops than they normally would, because it's just sometimes difficult to tell yourself to hit the ball harder to get closer to the hoop. So again, you'll see that he came through the hoop with a rush to where he wants to go. He wanted to come back up the lawn toward the next hoop, hoop 5, and he managed to put his reception ball in just the spot he needed. And as a result, he's got a lovely pioneer at 6 and 2 balls at his hoop at 5.
So I see that there is a little bit of discussion about the scoring on the scoreboard. The way I'm doing this is I'm actually giving you the clip position rather than the hoops scored. So the clip position is always going to be one ahead of the hoop that was just scored. I hope that clears up any confusion.
And you probably saw, but Tom was rushing his ball back, probably to put it to back, and rushed into the back of the hoop. So his job now is both to get the ball away from that hoop so he can use it later in the break, but also get himself a usable place near the next ball, his blue ball. And he's managed to do both very well without the hoop completely destroying the shot. So I watched quite a bit of the coverage during the World Championships, and Tom was doing some commenting that he always does the diagonal spread leave, but also saying that he wants to try doing the new standard more. I haven't seen him during this tournament play very much, so I don't know whether he's actually been doing that. My guess from where the balls are is we're going to see a diagonal spread. What do you think?
I'd have to agree with that right now. He's certainly not going to do a mom. He's got just the one ball at number 7. He's going to put yellow at 2 back now and take black back up to blue. So I think that we're looking at a diagonal spread leave here. Tom has certainly got the pace of this lawn. He's just putting these pioneers at perfect position.
Good example of some precise play here.
Exactly.
We're just talking about that.
So I've had the pleasure of starting Tom, not starting him, but working with Tom up at Grandfather Mountain. He took over for me. This is David Maloof again. Tom has gone in just 4 years from being the most exciting croquet player in America to one of the most precise croquet players in America. So he's always had this massive talent. Everybody has seen that talent. And now he is starting to combine that talent with beautiful play. You'll notice that every ball is in the right place. He's making the game look easy and refreshing for us Americans that are rooting for him at the McRobb this summer to, see him playing like this and the skills that he shows and positional play. So enjoy this beautiful croquet.
Speaking of the McRobb, I think we've got one of our strongest teams that we've had in quite some time. Going to England for the McRobertson Shield this July.
I would agree. Having seen some of these guys, I haven't played very much in the last few years, but having seen some of these guys play for the first time, both during the Worlds but now live, very, very impressed. They're both all very, very good shots, and as David just said, we've got a number of extremely precise players amongst the bunch as well.
So Tom wasn't happy with that shot. That shot came up a little short on the Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
But what pleases me is he understands it. 4 years ago, he would have thought black was a good Pioneer, 3 back. Now he realizes that it's
3 yards short.
There's a lot of progress being made. But one of the things that is so good about this McRobb team is how well the players all get along. And that's really important in a team situation, because it's 3 weeks of intense competition. The pressure is unbelievable for those of you that have never been involved in representing your country. It is different. And having friends there to support you is huge. And, these guys get along so well. And that's one of the strongest things that's going to hopefully help this team get over the hump. It certainly helped in the golf croquet with the Openshaw. They get along so well, and hopefully it'll do the same thing and carry over into the McRobb. So we'll see.
David, you were along for the ride when we started the High Performance and Talent Development Program 5.5 years ago, and I think that's been a really key ingredient to the way our teams have gelled and matured as players.
Just that time together has been so important for these kids to practice together. I know that Tom and Kyle and Matthew and Zach and Steven all get together whenever possible, and they'll play a day or two of croquet on their off days, and it builds not just competition and experience, it builds camaraderie, which is so important. And
absolutely,
so it's been great watching these guys, watching them grow, watching them mature. I've known Matthew since he's been 5 years old, playing in the North Carolina club teams, and seen the talent even at 5 years old. And, watching all of these guys grow into great young players is just really special. So
Tom scored 9 already?
Yep, he scored his 9. So Tom sets a very different leave than you saw earlier with Kyle and Brian. He does the more standard diagonal spread, leaving a ball between hoops 1 and 2, a ball at the peg wired from its partner, and he will have the ball at the peg have no backswing toward red and yellow, which will be set up on the east boundary. So very typical leave.
And the secret of getting this sleeve is twofold. One, obviously getting the balls in place before you get to 3 back, which he had done. Now, as you can see, he's had a very short shot with blue and it's got a rush away with his yellow ball. But another important factor is also getting a good rush out of 3 back, which again he did. So he was in very, very good shape to get this leave.
And you'll notice that even where he rushed yellow off the court, he's going to be within a yard or so of his final position for yellow, leaving it totally wired on the other 2 balls.
Tom is absolutely one of the best shooters in the world. On his good days, I would rank him, I would probably rank him as the best shooter. He does have off days, but on his good days, he is scary good.
Shout out to Russell Harris. Russell, it's good to see you on the chat. I hope it's sunny and warm in Ireland.
All right, so
I'm
that's
going to leave you guys.
all righty.
Thank you, David.
Very much. So all these matches are best of 3, at least. I'm not sure about
They
the
are
final.
all best of 3.
All best of 3. In the first round of the knockout, Tom beat Stuart Lawrence and Edmund Fordyce, and with 2 triple peels, and Edmund Fordyce beat me. So he's playing the black ball, which was the furthest ball over near the second hoop. He's going to shoot down the line, which is a slightly longer shot this time, but makes it more difficult for Tom to get... Oh, no, he's not. He's changed his mind. He's decided to shoot from the A balk.
Okay, the latest update from the tournament director, Doug Grimsley, says that if time allows, we are going to have a semifinal and final consisting of best-of-5 matches. So lots of exciting croquet ahead over the next 2 days.
And these guys, we're now at the point in the tournament where the games are filled with extremely good players. These guys get through their games pretty quickly, so...
Yeah.
There should be time for best of fives, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes you may have a peg out and a game that takes longer. And you see, he just missed that ball. He decided to take the shot from the end of the A balk, from the southern end of the court, simply because it was a shorter shot, is my guess. Obviously, we don't know what was in his head, but that would be the standard thinking.
He needed the short shot he wanted to get in that game. And realizing that if he missed like he did, that it's going to set Tom up for an on-time triple.
But again, with the standard of the high standard of play that David was talking about, whether the ball's here next to Tom's 2 balls or whether it's in the fourth corner, he should be able to get them in the
Tom's going to turn around and shoot that ball in the fourth corner anyway from where he was.
I doubt that, but even if he gets it after he goes to the third hoop, these guys are good enough to get it out and get it in tripling position pretty easily. It does make it more difficult, but generally it's not a huge barrier for someone as good as Tom.
We didn't like that. Didn't go far.
Yeah. So it's difficult to see. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he hasn't got much of an angle if you look at the screen. So he's got a big cut to get this to the first hoop.
Red is perfect.
Yeah.
And he's got the cut. So he's going to be just outside to the west of 1 towards corner 1.
Yep, so that's a long way from the hoop. Again, it makes it a difficult approach, but, well, and a true test of his skills. So he's directly in line with the hoop, but a good distance from that hoop.
Tom's one of the best golf croquet players in America, and this 4-foot hoop is not... oh, I should have kept my mouth shut.
You shouldn't have said a word. That was bad luck. But again, playing back, the cause of that was the shot to the blue ball in the middle where he didn't get enough angle, which then meant that he could only cut it, play a very difficult cut, and leaving himself a long shot from, a long way from the hoop.
I'd be very surprised if Edmund doesn't lay down 9 here. He's got everything on the court.
Yep, so Edmund's away. And again, what happened with Tom shows the risk and reward balance you have to take as a croquet player, or you have to calculate as a croquet player. You take the risk and sometimes it just doesn't play out. Well, you don't take the risk, and your opponent may hit in. And
Right.
You could end up in the same position.
Edmund Fordyce is a former under-21 world champion, playing for New Zealand. He's played on at least the last 2 Openshaw GC World Team Championship teams for New Zealand. And Edmund has nicely run hoop 2.
And with a nice rush back up the lawn to the black ball at hoop 4, he'll load red to hoop 4 and attempt to get a rush back up the lawn with black, which is sitting probably about 3 or 4 yards on the other side of the hoop. So it'll be a little bit of a pass roll, is my guess. Nope. He's decided to take a different option. He's taking off to black and leaving red where it stopped. He is going to rush it back up the lawn and stop shot black back into the lawn, but he decided it was easier and safer to leave red where it stopped rather than try and pass roll. And Ed, like many of these players, can generate tremendous power. I mean, that looked very easy, partly because he timed it so well. But as I mentioned earlier, these lawns are very slow, and even a rush like that doesn't always come off.
So Edmund is successfully through hoop 3. We'll put yellow as a pioneer at hoop 5 and bring black down to red. Just the way you cut rush ball over to the hoop, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed.
And hoop 4 is scored.
And Edmund, like many of the very good players, Tom as well, is actually working as a croquet professional. Many of them actually are at clubs either in Florida or in the mountains of North Carolina. This is his third year, I think he told me.
It is
working
his
as a
third year
professional.
as a croquet pro at the Highlands Country Club in Highlands, North Carolina. He spent 2 winters down here in Sarasota at the Oaks Country Club before going full-time with Highlands on a year-round basis. From the look of this, Edmund's planning to load black at 2 back when he gets through 5, and then be able to rush yellow up to red.
Yep. Edmund's another player that likes that likes the diagonal spread, the same leave that Tom had. He did that in the 2 games that we played. And many players, when they're planning for either leave, new standard leave, or a diagonal spread, find it easier to get their leave when they have their partner at 2 back.
I'm a player that likes to do it exactly the way Edmund's doing it, and load 2 back after 5. A lot of players, David Malouf for one, will load 2 back with partner after 6. It's just a matter of personal preference. He likes to keep that extra pivot ball for one more hoop.
It can also depend how much control do you have of the balls at the hoop, plus where your pioneer at hoop 6 is.
Right.
If it's a tough lawn and you've got a stray pioneer, then some players opt to take the David Malouf method, even though they would.
But Martin, you and I don't
generally-
have stray pioneers, do we?
Never. This pioneer's a few yards from the hoop. It wasn't as ideal as some of the others have been, but
But he's landed right on the rush line so that he can
has.
take it straight at the hoop.
yeah, he's. My guess is he's prioritizing his striker ball for almost all of these croquet strokes,
I would agree with that.
and so he's got himself in a really good position to get in front of the hoop, even though the pioneer wasn't ideal.
So he's cleanly through 6. He's now for 7 or 1 back. And he's going to drop red down by the peg. Edmund is another player that just has marvelous, marvelous control. When he does a takeoff, he lands the ball exactly where he wants it to be. And the very best players do make this game look a little bit more boring than some of the other players.
Some of the more adventurous
I won't mention any names here, Mark.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see such good croquet. And this is the quarterfinal.
This is the quarterfinal.
So I've got two extremely good players. And still 6 players to be knocked out. This had the same quality across all of the quarterfinals this year.
This is the strongest field we've had in the USCA National Championships for the association laws in several years. I think one of the reasons is that it's the last major tournament. Many of our players will have a chance to compete in before they leave for England in July for the McRobertson Shield. So all but one of our McRobertson Shield players is here.
And in fact, it's Ben who's not here, Ben Rothman.
That is correct.
He's the only one of those players that's not currently working as a croquet professional?
That is
right?
correct.
It is, yeah.
He is working for emergency services in Oakland, California now.
Yep. And ex-croquet professional himself.
That's correct. He was the croquet pro most recently at the Quag Field Club in the Hamptons in Long Island. And prior to that, he was at Mission Hills Country Club for several years as the croquet pro.
He was indeed. And he's a fellow member of Oakland Croquet Club along with me.
Well, there you go. That would account for your loquaciousness. So Edmund is well on his way to getting this diagonal spread set.
And again, what we mentioned
A nice
earlier,
takeoff here would allow him to not even have to make an adjustment to red.
Yeah, what we mentioned earlier with Tom applies equally to Edmund. He's got the balls up near the peg and in great position to hide red behind the peg, and black in a perfect position to escape once he's taken croquet from red, which we'll see in a minute.
I'm thinking with what he just did with red there, he may not even have to touch red. He may just load yellow. If he gets the right position with yellow, he'll just go to black.
Could be. We'll see. Yeah.
He didn't get the forward rush on yellow.
Yeah, his ball fell a little bit to the side, which meant he had to hit it a bit harder to get through that hoop. But he did get a sort of a rush across, so he's in a good position to get an excellent leave. So we'll see if he goes to red. Well, he will go to red, and we'll see if he needs to hit red, depending on where yellow stops.
He's just going to true it up a little bit. Not much. Little thin takeoff here.
Yep. Yeah. So even though it looks trivial, the ball only rolled probably one ball width, these shots can be very, very difficult to get right. And having it roll 2 ball widths instead of 1 can be fatal. Leave you open to
Leaving it wide
both
open.
balls, yeah. So needs quite a bit of practice and quite a bit of
So red, the ball at the peg, is the ball that is all ready for four-back. Tom really wants to play yellow. If Tom misses the lift shot with yellow, it's going to be very easy for Edmund to get a finishing break going with 10 at the peg.
Yeah, given most players prefer to play the ball near the second hoop, would have been ideal if he had have left the red and the yellow ball
In opposite
positions. But still, he's come up with a very good lead. And in the end, it's not a huge issue. So we've got a game in our hands.
Now, some of you may have noticed that my friend Martin has a bit of an accent. That's because he didn't grow up here in America. Martin, where did you grow up?
I'm Australian.
Australian. And when did you start playing croquet?
So don't embarrass me with these questions. People.
I don't need a year. You just kind of round it off to a point in your lifespan.
No, what I'm really talking about is people expect me to be good. No, I played during university for about a year and a half. And in fact, it was Damon Bardenkoop, who many people know himself. Well, he's an excellent croquet player. And the president of the USCA was the person that got me into it. Then I really didn't play at all until I got to the US 15, 20 years ago. So it's been great to be able to get back into the sport.
Might have to put a guy wire on.
I think so. So sorry, you've seen this, so we probably don't have to tell you, but again, Tom took the shorter of the two lift shots available to him and missed.
And in the meantime, our umbrella that's shading our commentary table tried to do a Mary Poppins on us.
So we're both holding on for dear life.
Okay.
Until it flies away again, yeah.
I think that flat it won't be quite as, it won't catch as much air. Edmund's just going to pop yellow out on the court a little bit, getting a rush on blue to 1. Oh, no, excuse me, out to the center of the court. He's got to pick up red and drive red to 1.
Checking to see where he wants the black ball to finish. He's going to try and put blue to the second hoop as he's pioneer. Get a rush back to the first hoop using black. I was just checking to see the ideal position for the black ball. Get his aiming spot. And he plays it nicely.
Throws that perfectly to a spot
It's lovely.
a yard and a half just south of Hoop one. Ooh, that ball tried to fall off that little hill we were talking about. He's handled that nicely. Gonna rush red over to yellow, collect yellow, and take it up to 3.
Similar to what we saw after the 5th hoop earlier, he's loaded the 4th hoop very well ahead of his break. He's going to 2 now with a ball at his 4th. He'll put yellow to 3 and then attempt to rush his blue ball across to the 3rd hoop to begin.
Which will set him up for an on-time triple. And he's already got a nice Pioneer ready for him at 4.
So the Pioneer 4-2 is a little bit to the western side of the lawn, but he's made sure he's got be well behind the ball so that he can get himself an approach from directly in front of the hoop.
He's almost taken that one too far, Martin.
He has, yep. Again, it's not something he should be able to handle. It's a good distance from the hoop, so he should be able to do this.
And it's just perfect. 1 foot behind the hoop, dead center.
Yep, blue in a lovely position to
Rush to 3.
across to 3 as we were discussing.
He's come through with control, and he's got a dead straight rush to 3. I see where Steve Scarpone has put a message here to Michael Kernigan asking how the weather is up there in the Northwest. All right, so Edmund's just failed that first peel attempt. He's got a number of other opportunities to get 4-back done.
Yeah, he did that with a split to get behind yellow to
And it
rush
just
yellow
grew a
down
little
the
bit.
lawn. Yeah. We're playing with Invictus balls here, and they can draw a lot, in my experience.
He's at least playing with the primaries, and here at our club in Sarasota, the primaries went into service almost a year ago. The milling has been worn down a bit. They're not quite as aggressive. The secondaries we just received about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and the milling is still more aggressive, and you can feel the difference if you're playing with primaries or secondaries.
Yes, you can.
Yes. And that will go away as the balls are in service for a few more months, and some of that very sharp-edged milling gets smoothed off.
So he's positioned the red so that he can rush back up the lawn to the third hoop to 4-back, and hopefully tidy up the blue ball, which we call his.
He's got a
PLE.
lovely rush there.
Spot on, hey? Very nice rush.
I thought he was going to bombard blue right into position.
Yeah. We've also seen on the even hoops, particularly hoop 4, some players putting the reception pool deep and then barreling through the hoop until it goes out, getting themselves a rush back up the lawn. Ed does it
The
a little bit
old-fashioned way.
different, the old-fashioned way, that's right. He just puts the red a little bit, the reception ball a little bit past the hoop and runs it gently.
Kind of
with
like tennis
control.
when we used to see serve and volley play.
Yeah. Okay, so blue is back in position.
He's got a nice escape ball with red to go to 6.
And he's taking off to his pioneer at 5,
Correct.
which you will see is to his side, to the eastern side of the hoop, a little bit short, anticipating this takeoff, which he's overhit, unfortunately. So he doesn't have a rush to his hoop, but again, he's not too far from it.
Probably the downside of this is that it's going to preclude him from being able to put yellow as deep as he would like for the forward rush back to hoop 10.
And the reason for that is because of the angle from which he's approaching.
That's correct. And he's done a pretty good job of that. That's a very wide angle split, and he's done it very, very nicely. So if he runs this with control, he'll be in very good shape. He's groveled it. Let's see if he's looking at it. I think he can see it. And he's got it.
He's got it. He's also put the yellow almost exactly where he would want it anyway.
Yeah.
So where he's put yellow now enables him to load the 1-back hoop, going to blue, getting very close to blue, so as to not knock it out of position and hopefully get it peeled through the 4-back hoop this time.
He's overrolled that just about a foot, but I think it'll be okay here for him. Now you'll notice that Edmund seems almost casual about lining up these peels. Everybody else throws themselves on the ground, looks at it from every angle, left side, right side, front side, back side. Edmund just, does it. And more often than not, it's spot on. So he's checking where he wants to have black end up. And that's peel number 1 out of the way.
So he's putting red to the right-hand side of the hoop.
He wants to take it back to the corner, get it behind blue so he can rush blue over to penult.
So he now has a choice to make, whether to try and get his second peel through penultimate before he goes to 2 back, or whether he takes his peel E, the blue ball, down to 2 back and then does the penultimate peel later in the break.
I think he's going to 2 back.
I think he is. My guess is that he was thinking about the peel before 2 back, but red is not in a very good position. It's an escape ball.
I think if he'd been planning to pop it early, he would have had red deeper down near the peg. Mm-hmm. So as he peeled it, he could have the rush to 2 back. And that's a very workable pioneer at 2 back. Lovely control. This is a big shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's going red first.
Yep. So he sends yellow down to 3 back from a long way away, probably 26
And
yards away.
He's just landed it perfect.
Absolutely. And he is, it's hard to see from this angle, but probably 1 or 2 feet from red with the rush where he wants.
He's about a yard back.
It's still pretty good.
So all he's done is move it up a little bit, so it's a little bit better position for him. He'll take off to blue.
Yeah, he's leaving red there rather than sending it to a more typical pioneer position in preparation for setting up his penultimate peel, which he may attempt on the way back down to the 3 back if he can get blue into the right position, but more probably he will attempt his penultimate peel after he goes through 3 back and before he goes to 4 back.
Blood sugar's going low. Thanks.
What just happened? Has he scored 2 back? He's all right.
That was in a lot of danger actually
Of being
hitting
wired.
the hoop,
Or being wired.
which we saw Brian Cumming unfortunately do in the last match.
I think we're going to see him try this penult peel on the way to 10 here, don't you?
100%. So he's bringing yellow back up the lawn to act as his pioneer for the penultimate hoop once he's run the next one. Well, hopefully once he's appealed penultimate, then run 4 back. He's putting it off to the western side to keep out of the way of his peel.
You got to be very gentle with this. Martin, do you think he's going to try for a jaws here, or do you think he's going to give it a good pop?
I've got no idea. Let's see. He's playing a full roll shot, so
I think he's just
going for the jaws.
He's going for the jaws. Okay. The idea there is that when he comes back after running hoop 10, he'll be able to rush blue all the way down to position.
He won't
and
rush.
Come back. He'll rush peel it through.
He won't. I doubt it. I think what he'll do is go to yellow, then take croquet from blue, and in the croquet stroke, he'll both peel that ball. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
That gives him more control than a rush. This is what we were talking about earlier. The even numbered hoops give the player the ability to run hard through the hoop and out. And if you've got the reception ball positioned properly, as Edmund does, it gives you a rush back into the lawn. Reg Bamford refers to these as the soft hoops.
The center hoops.
Alrighty, so
You're right. He's going for yellow first.
and what he's likely to do is what he's aiming to do is hit penultimate from the non-playing side. Sorry, hit blue from the non-playing side, so that when he roquets it, he avoids the risk of accidentally roqueting it
Through the hoop and have to take a takeoff from the backside.
That's right.
He wants to leave this in the jaws when he hits it.
So you may be able to see from the camera angle, he's going to play this at a slight angle so that when the blue ball comes down the lawn, it avoids hitting the peg on the way down. And then once his ball is through, he's got yellow to the side waiting for him as a reception ball. Remembering that he's going to attempt to both peel the blue ball through rover and run the rover hoop with black in the same stroke or in the same at the same time.
Now he needs a dead perfect rush on blue to bring it back to center line, close enough that he can do this with control. So this next shot is really critical. He's come a little short. Looks like it's about 2 feet back. Now he's not taking any chances. Just about as badly as it could. I'm not sure yet black is makeable. Do you think it? What do you think? Can you see it?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like
I think it's off to the side.
he was attempting an Irish peel.
Blue went right and black went left.
Well, black actually hit the blue ball, which
is that what happened?
Yeah, which put black off its course. And there's no way, looking at the screen, there's no way he can do anything. So he has one shot left. He's dead on all balls, and he's now trying to work out the least bad way to leave these balls. Okay. And he's hit off into the fourth corner. So Tom's back on. His yellow is the ball that it's for the first hoop, so that's the shot he played, even though it was the longer shot. And he's now walking back to Ed's ball in corner 4 with the idea of using that to load to taking red, rushing red to 1. Just seeing what the shot's like and whether it's the shot he wants to take.
It's the only shot he can take.
And he decided against that. He's going to leave blue there and black there, and is getting a rush from red. On red, 2 hoop 1.
Well, it took a little bit of a hop, but it looks like he got away there.
Yep. It's to the side, but it's certainly usable.
Just a little bit south. It's in good shape. The only thing worse than blowing your triple at the rover peel is blowing it after the rover peel.
Oh, I'll tell you what he did to me, and he missed the pickup.
That's what I mean, blow it after the rover peel. Yep. I was playing Stewart one time, and I got the rover peel done. I had the triple in the and I groveled through, and there were 3 balls, and I couldn't see a single one. And I lost the game. 26-24.
God.
Bastard.
True. So you'll see that Tom left black in the 4th corner before he went to hoop 1, which meant he then needed to get a very good croquet stroke, a long croquet stroke to get a rush to the 2nd hoop. So he basically made getting to 1 the easier of the 2 hoops. And he managed both, as you can see, very well.
Game 3. So he's going to do a delayed here.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why he's left blue where it is.
So he's now taking off to the ball, the black ball in the 4th corner. You'll see in a minute his pioneer for 4 was deliberately long,
Ooh, stay in.
and he's
He's out of
overhit
bounds.
that, I'm afraid. So the pioneer becomes academic.
Well, that's a shame.
It is.
Yeah, it's a game-ending turn.
Well, Ed now still needs to score
He needs to
Rover with both balls.
Right. So may or may not happen. He hasn't got another ball out there to use.
Yeah,
He can pump yellow out there, but
that's right.
red's not any help to him.
Yeah, it's very difficult to rush blue from beyond the fourth hoop to a position where you can
Where you
actually
can
peel
peel.
Rover. So chances are that he's going to need 2 turns to finish, giving Tom another chance to hit in.
Opportunity to hit in.
So opting for position rather than getting yellow onto the lawn, he's decided to leave yellow where it is and take off to blue.
Well, with that much separation, no lift, I think he'll run out, take a hoop, go to the other side of the court, set a lead, and live to fight another inning. Yellow can see red, so red can see yellow. He can safely wire blue and black on the other side of the court. And that's where he wants to be, where he can try and hide blue black from yellow, make red take blue. Well, yellow wants to play. Yellow has to play, so.
As Michael said, he's looking for the wide position. I mean, he's got a side on to the hoop, so he hasn't got much to work with, but in the end, he's the complete width of the court away from yellow. And if you heard the whoa, that was Michael as the umbrella blew away. Oh, that was your car too. You may not have been able to see that due to the camera angle, but that very long shot by Tom, yellow at red, missed by a fraction of an inch. So Edmund rushes out to Rover. He now needs to run Rover and leave his black in a position where he can rush back to peg out. So, as you can see, a mistake from Edmund, giving Tom the chance to get back in from probably 7 to 8, maybe 8 to 9 yards away, which he misses.
Out of wire. Did Tom have a wire with yellow?
No, don't think so.
And why did he get a lift?
No, he didn't. He hit up at red
Oh,
and missed.
Oh, I see where it went.
So chance number 2 to finish the game for Ed. He needs to get past black, just
He's
sneaks
done that.
past. Now giving himself a rush back up the lawn to the peg. And that's game 1. They have 2 more games, or they have 1 game to play if Edmund wins the next game. It's been best of 3. Tom needs to win the next game in order to even the match and go to a 3rd game. So is the car okay? That's good. Is it your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready. Allá no hay. Aquí está uno, hay aquella cámara, una ahí, una aquí. 3.
Dos. Aquí tengo el uno y el tres.
Still going. Intel. No, yo digo este. Ah, el 2.
Ese fue el número de allá. Ahorita falta uno para que
Yes, we'll move. Right.
¿Se mueve?
no sé si está en el trípode. ¿Este es tu trípode? Ah, tú tienes uno, ¿verdad? ¿Y el otro está allá o no?
Sí, allá hay uno. Allá hay uno, aquí yo tengo uno y aquí hay uno. En cada hay uno. Let's do it.
Está cayendo agua a la cámara.
Corre la mesa.
Ah, no importa.
¿Ah?
Ah, ya empezaron ya.
No,
Voy, voy.
vamos a poner una mesa ahorita.
Tampoco para ella. ¿Qué hago con la cámara? ¿Regresa adelante?
Okay, here we are back in the quarterfinal match between Tom Balding and Edmund Fordyce. Tom has control right at the moment. Tom is playing blue-black. Edmund is playing red and yellow. Edmund won the first game, 26-14. This is a best-of-3 match.
So for the opening, Ed put his ball in the sort of standard opening position a little bit, well, basically east of hoop 4, somewhere around that area. Tom then hit his ball slightly out of corner 4. Ed ignored that ball, shot for his own ball up near hoop 4, Then Tom hit in by hitting his own ball, hitting his yellow ball, which was sitting in the fourth corner. And as you can see, he's got himself in a position to run this first hoop already. Again, he's coming back across the lawn. Ball going out just behind the fourth hoop. Black is up a little bit. It's on the eastern boundary, a bit north of hoop 4. Not necessarily easy to get behind it to get a rush, but we'll see how he goes. Now he's taken the conservative route and is loading hoop 3, not trying to get a rush on the ball on the eastern boundary. This leaves him a takeoff of probably close to about 20 yards. The yellow is sitting now somewhere between the sixth hoop and the second hoop, so he's going to need to get his red to a position to rush yellow toward hoop 2, which it appears he's done brilliantly. He would be less than a yard from that ball, having travelled 20 yards to get there, and he's dead in line with hoop 2. And at the same time, he playing that takeoff from black to yellow, he's managed to kick black into the lawn, probably now 4 yards from the boundary, where it's much more accessible and easy to use in his break.
Come on. I can't get it up.
Do the space bar?
It unplugged when I was moving it. It unplugged when I was. Oh, there it is. What was it, just the light?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So he rushes back up the lawn, the idea being that croquet is less difficult when the striker ball doesn't have to move a very long distance. So he rushed back up to just behind the third hoop, giving him a good position to rush blue across to the third hoop. Making the approach easy.
What hoop's Tom for?
3.
With real?
drive down the lawn, 21 yard shot, dead straight, stops in the perfect position to hit black back into the break where he wants it and get, again, a small rush but an important rush on yellow so that he can approach him in front of the hoop rather than from the side.
Accident with the wind and the umbrella.
I'm sorry you came back. He came over to our place last night to have dinner and many drinks.
Good.
He was in fine form. He was very, very funny. So Tom, it appears, is planning to take the David Malouf route that Michael was talking about earlier and load two back once he's run the sixth hoop, rather than load the two back hoop after five, which many players set up to do. He was in full control, so this was a definite choice. So he's through the one back hoop. For those not familiar with association croquet, this means that his opponent, Edmund, will have a lift to the balk line. He can pick his ball up and play it from the balk lines, which are at either end of the lawn, or play his ball from where it lies. It's his choice. But running one back and four back gives up a lift to balk for the opposition at the end of the turn.
Lift to contact. One back and four back gives a lift. Contact.
And then you'll see, again, for people that aren't familiar with association, assuming the break continues, he will stop deliberately after three back. The reason being that his first ball around, essentially, if he goes through one back and four back in the same turn, the player gives up not just a lift to the balk line, but also his opponent, Edmund, has a choice of lift to contact, which means he can lift either of his balls and put it in contact with either of Tom's. So for that reason, you almost always see players in their first break stop after three back and set a leave. So he wasn't happy with that because he wanted to prepare for his leave and rush back up to his black ball, which is sitting near the peg. He didn't get that rush, so now he's going to have to rush up behind blue and croquet the red ball toward the hoop. Blue's a little bit out of position, it's a little bit deep, and it's a little bit on the eastern side of the hoop, whereas he's now on the western side. So he's going to need a good stop shot to get the yellow ball, I'm sorry, as far as he wants. And it was not a good shot with either ball.
He ran into blue.
That's right. Neither really went where he wanted. Yellow did not really go where I'm sure he wanted. And he also ran into blue, which meant he couldn't rush it in front of the hoop to get an easier hoop shot. But, as you can see, he's in front of the hoop, not too far out, and runs it with control. A very nice approach. So he's attempting to get a diagonal spread, which for those who are new to association is a fairly standard leave. It's the one opponent ball up on the western side of the court, usually roughly somewhere around level with hoop 6. His other opponent ball up close to or even touching the peg on the other side of the peg, hidden from the ball on the western side. And then you'll see his balls will be in a straight line, lined up on the eastern boundary in a position where the opponent has no backswing with the ball by the hoop, because his balls will be directly in line with the hoop and the ball by the peg, and the ball by the peg has no shot at either ball because the peg will be in the way.
Martin, would you explain for some of our viewers who might not understand, we keep referring to east boundary, west boundary,
yes.
North boundary, south boundary, that simply designates a particular side of the court. It doesn't have anything to do with the orientation of the court or which direction it points. So would you go ahead and explain that?
Yeah, it's actually in the rules.
Yes.
And I actually find it easy to remember because the first court I ever played at actually was aligned according to the rules. So the southern boundary is the one that runs behind hoop 1 and behind hoop 4, and then of course the northern boundary is at the other end behind hoops 2 and 4.
3.
I'm sorry, 2 and 3, I apologize. Then of course that means that the eastern boundary is where you see the yellow ball now, which is over running on hoops 3 and 4, parallel with hoops 3 and 4, leaving the western boundary parallels to hoops 1 and 2.
And this allows us, when we're talking about croquet court, no matter where it is in the world, no matter what direction it's oriented, it allows us to talk about the locations on the court, and everybody understands immediately where the balls are.
And of course, now that I've said it's in the rule book, I'm wondering if it really is.
Put Stuart on that.
I was going to say that, but I didn't. He will be over very shortly. All right, so
Edmund has opted to take the shot at
he didn't
black.
quite get the leave correct. You can see it was saying that those balls should have been hidden by the peg, but Tom overhit them and left a long shot, but left a shot for Edmund, and he may have even left a double target, which was why he decided to take that shot, even though it was a good 30 yards. But he hits in, and now it's his turn to see if he can get a break together.
And that was a beautiful hit in. And he hit that shot knowing that if he didn't hit, he was giving up an on-time triple.
Yeah, so that's probably about 5 yards from the hoop. He would have liked it closer, but the main thing is he's actually in line with the hoop, so he's got a straight approach, which makes life much easier. And with someone with his experience, it's a much easier shot and something that you would expect him to get probably 9 times out of 10 or even more.
Interesting to see if he tries to drive this ball all the way back and pick up red now. I think he won't. He is.
Yep. As we mentioned before, Ed can hit the ball hard. He was a long way from that ball, but he's managed to rush it out on the southern boundary, and he will now load 3 from the southern boundary going to red to try and either use red to take off or ideally bring red into the break if he can get a good position on red with his strike a ball. Yep, he's got black in a good position for the third hoop, but blue's not quite as far as he wanted, so it's going to be a long takeoff to yellow. Yellow's currently probably 4 or 5 yards from the second hoop.
Yellow looks to be about 4 yards from the hoop.
But he's coming along what we call the rush line, which is really the line between, from where he is, between yellow to the hoop. So it shouldn't be too difficult for him to get into a position where he can rush yellow to the hoop. He's taken off a bit short, but again, he's a very good shot. He's got as much power as he needs, and he should be fine. I would say fine-ish.
And we might say that Edmund develops this power not through his bulk or size, because Edmund is fairly slight, probably weighing no more than 140 pounds. But he's got a technique that allows him to have a very long swing, and it just gives him all the power he needs to get anywhere on the court. And there's an example of that long backswing that I was talking about.
That means 3. Yes. So that's the third hoop he's approaching, with all the balls ahead of him and a fabulous pioneer for 4. So we were talking about risk and reward earlier. He's, I guess, taken the risk by a couple of long shots. Now his break is together, and he's taken the risk out of the equation. And mind you, he's in a good position now, but someone with lesser skills, let's say, than Edmund can see their break deteriorate again from this position, just a couple of wayward pioneers. So he put his ball back in a position behind hoop 3 where it was difficult for him to get to his the ball he was going to, which was red, and impossible for him to load 5, which was what he was planning to do with black. So instead what he's done is put black in sort of no man's land, down somewhere he can use after hoop 4 and rush red to 5. And again, people that aren't necessarily familiar with this game should know that rushing a ball into position is much less accurate than playing a croquet stroke into the same position. So again, he was introducing an element of risk back into the break, which he's handled very well.
So we have a question in the chat asking about the Smith-Guffey match, and I'm almost certain that Matt Smith was able to come through in 2 games over Darren Guffey. I don't know the scores on that.
Really? Wow. And I'm saying wow because Mr. Guffey was being the standout of the block play. He beat everybody with one player in his block, whereas he went into the block seated as number 5.
It's not showing. Oh no, that game has not started yet. I'm sorry. That match has not started at this time.
Yeah, Darren Guffey also got his first triple peel in the competition, which was great. I saw probably half of the winning turn, the triple peel turn, and he played it with control. He played it very, very well.
An update, the match with Darren Guffey and Matt Smith has started. It's early in game 1 on court 1.
Too bad. So he loads 3 back with the red ball, which you just saw. He's left it in a position where he can take off from the hoop, from the peg, having set up the other 2 balls for his diagonal spread leave. So for that hoop 3-back pioneer, because you'll be taking off from the peg, you're much better off with the ball a little bit short than trying to get it straight in front and accidentally hitting it a bit long.
Did a nice job with that.
Did a nice job with that because he's got an easy shot back to his hoop, but then B, he's also got yellow in a great position by the peg in anticipation of this leave, the diagonal spread leave.
So Edmund is through 2 back on his way to 3 back. He's got his leave already setting up nicely.
You can see from this long shot that the yellow ball by the peg is the one he's going to hide in an attempt to get a diagonal spread, so that his opponent really doesn't have a shot across the lawn.
And yellow's almost perfect already. If he moves it, it's only going to be an inch, a couple of inches.
Yeah, he would have preferred to get a rush up toward yellow from that after the hoop shot, but he didn't get that. So now he has a reasonably long croquet stroke, a half roll. He needs to get obviously red in a decent position, but the important thing is to get very close to yellow with his blue ball, his striker ball, so that he can hide it behind the peg, which is the more difficult of the 2 strokes. He's done that well, so he's very close to yellow and he's in control still. Alrighty, that's the end of the break. What looks like a very nice lead, at least one he's very happy with. And it's currently 9 hoops apiece, with Tom having a lift to the balk line, having seen Edmund go through one back, and what he will no doubt take, given he doesn't have a shot with either yellow or red on another ball.
So I'd like to take this moment while Tom is coming out on the court to thank our supporters, Oakley Woods Croquet, for all your croquet needs, Chris and Gail Barley, Karen Wise, artist, Sarasota County Parks and Recreation, and Visit Sarasota. Also, thank you to our host this week, Sarasota County Croquet Club, and the United States Croquet Association, our governing body for sport in America. I Do Live Streaming is bringing us the live stream for this event this week. Shot.
Oh, it's a good shot. I mean, that's a shot of a mere 25 yards. And we've seen him miss a few, but most players, I mean, most good players, get up to about the hit-miss 50% ratio at about 10 or 12 yards. I don't know what Tom is or if he's ever calculated it, but my bet is it's a bit better than that. And even for somebody that's as good a shot as Tom, that is by no means a guaranteed shot. So an excellent shot from Tom that he's going to be very happy with. That brings him back into play.
This is a nice shot as well.
And he will be attempting to finish this game through triple peeling, given that his first ball's already round on 4 back.
So Martin, that ratio you were talking about, we call that a critical distance in croquet. And that's the distance that a player can assume they're going to hit 50% of their shots successfully. And that's an important number to know if you're playing croquet.
Also saying it changes. Some days you're on, some days you're not. And quite honestly, sometimes you hit the ball straight and it misses. Occasionally you'll hit the ball off and it'll hit. Just because we're playing on a lawn, it's not a perfect surface. So sometimes it's just the person with, particularly at this level, it's the person with has the luck that is the winner.
Oh, slow down, yellow. He's not liking that.
Yep, he's got a big angle. He's going to jump, I think. And he gets it in the jaws. I mean, the danger with a jump like that is that it hits the upright and goes off to the side. Although given that this is Edmund's hoop, if he hits in, then he's got 2 balls at his hoop.
He's got blue as the one looking at both those balls. Black is across the court.
Yeah, the closer ball is blue, which...
And that's his 4-back ball.
So he'll want to play black, but
I think
he's going to have to move blue because if he leaves blue there, which is now a good pioneer for 2, he essentially gives a break to Tom. And hits. So while the blue ball, or the blue's clip is on 4 back, you'll see that Ed is not going to try to score any more hoops at this point. What he's trying to avoid is Tom hitting in again and then pegging him out, which leaves a very one-sided 2 versus 1 game. He'd much prefer to wait and attempt a triple peel himself rather than risk Tom hitting in and pegging out one of Ed's own balls. So we now have balls close to hoop 1 on the western side of hoop 2 and close to the 3rd corner on the eastern side of hoop 3, leaving Tom nothing shorter than about 22 yards to hit in. He's also left the red ball close to hoop 1, but given that's Ed's next hoop, there's no way that Tom would move yellow, which is his ball, also for hoop 1. So Tom has chosen not to even attempt a roquette to get the innings, but to run away defensively. I guess challenging Edmund to get a break from the lead he has. He's got a decent rush set across to the yellow ball near hoop 2, but he'll require 2 long, accurate rushes in order to get his break going. So let's see.
Gives away too much. So this is a long rush over there, long rush down here. So give a bit pressure on that. So I think we'll go with this.
Necesito. No puedo, estoy trabajando. ¿Pero está bien? No, sí, pero estoy en otra cosa. Estoy haciendo ahora
Matthew's already through the semis.
partido.
Oh, good on him. It's quick, isn't he?
Voy a agarrar el teléfono. Contame. Ah, buenísimo, buenísimo.
So he's accomplished the 2 long rushes expertly, quite honestly, as we had expected.
¿Tengo spam? ¿Un pan beach? Ah, ya sé quién tiene. Tienen en Lakewood en las 6, por ahí por la Dixie, hay un terreno grande. Ok. Ajá. ¿Sabes qué? Está bien, porque ¿sabes lo que fue? Es un argentino que me lo ofreció para que pusiéramos canchas de beach tenis en las 6, donde está la vía. ¿Viste? Donde se une. Ok. Déjame que voy a buscar el número de este tipo, porque tenía el terreno y no nos sirve para poner canchas porque es como un triángulo. Es comercial, pero es raro, ¿viste? No sé por qué. No me acuerdo, pero entraban 3 canchas. 3 o 4 canchas. Lo fuimos a ver con Armando, pero no me entraba un building para el baño. En las... No, las 6 y la Dixie, no, donde está justo la vía.
So his black ball didn't quite go where he wanted, leaving now a reasonably long, probably 5 or 6 yard approach to the hoop. Again, this is one of the even numbers hoops, which is one of the soft hoops, so he can afford to not be as precise, go through the hoop hard and pick up his reception ball, which is now close to the boundary. Yeah, as you can see, he's gone through hard to the boundary, and you'll see in a minute that his reception ball, the blue, has been left deep by the boundary within a couple of yards of where the black ball went out.
Still got red in the corner, so he's going to have to dig that out.
Cuando termino esto y hago las llamadas y vos mientras pasame el número del cliente. ¿Ok? Pásamelo.
right, so Edmund's gotten himself through hoop 3. He's got a nice pioneer at 4. Still got red down in corner 4. So I think he's gonna dig that out now. And then send blue back up for the delayed after 4. And I see he's wearing his Highland Strikers logoed shirt from his so all of those 280 croquet players at the Highlands Country Club would be happy to see that.
And down he comes to red, remembering that this was the shot that Tom hit too long and lost the turn as a result. So he's going to load this to 5. And as Michael said, after 4, he'll send blue back up the lawn in front of 4 back, ready for the peel. Again, remembering that he declined to score any hoops when he hit him with black earlier, preferring instead to try and finish in 1 turn with a triple peel. I apologize, when he hit him with blue earlier, blue being
Blue.
on the blue clip being on the 4 back hoop. So he's going to want to rush this up to the northern boundary, given that the yellow ball, which he needs also for the first peel attempt, is on the northern side of the hoop. And he's done that very nicely. Didn't quite get to the boundary, but he still put himself in a nice position to put blue in front of the hoop and get behind the yellow ball and bring it back to where it needs to be, to peel 4 back and then rush across to 6.
Oh, he's got lovely position with blue.
And good position with black, for that matter.
Yeah.
So red is currently his pioneer for 5. It's on the western side of the hoop. In an ideal world, it would be on the other side to make this shot a bit shorter and a bit easier to line up. But after a long takeoff, he's got himself in a pretty good position.
Well, Paul Warner from Taronga, New Zealand, just sent us a good morning from there. Like a nice day here. It is a very nice day here. It is about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, dry, lovely, cool breeze, and not a cloud in the sky. Taronga is one of my favorite places in New Zealand.
Going back up the lawn to a position pretty well what Reg Bamford described as the perfect position for this shot during his World Cup commentary. 6.
Y a la noche, pero los fines de semana a la noche tiene ayuda o eso. No, no. Todo. Pero de noche no.
All right, peel attempt number 1 on 4 back. Noting that he needs to do a split peel in order to get in position to rush yellow across to its next hoop, which is black's next hoop, which is 6. Yellow being a little bit beyond the hoop. And as you can see, he's accomplished the hoop, the peel very nicely, and got himself both a good position for the rush and a good rush across.
Y ahí estamos siempre, tratamos de ir, ¿viste? Cuando no estamos trabajando, porque ahora ponele llegamos el sábado a la noche, estamos en Sarasota. Entonces hasta el sábado a la noche y el domingo pensamos ir a la playa. Preguntarle, decirle si no se quiere acercar un ratito, a ver si está la hermana. Ahí nos juntamos, después vamos a casa, comemos unas salitas, hacemos algo acá. Decirle. Estoy en Venice, estoy en Venice, ahí en Sarasota, en un club de croquet. No es en la playa, es en los parques también. Pero bueno, llegamos ayer y bueno, tenemos que volver el sábado cuando termine la final y nos vamos. Ahora te paso el link para que veas. YouTube. Dale, dale. Yo voy a buscar primero. Voy a hablar con el argentino. No, no, es que no hay nada. No, es que no hay nada. No había nada de trabajo. El año pasado tuve creo que 2 rentas. No, yo más tuve. Pero realmente no sabía nada. El año pasado hice 2 rentas. 2 rentas. No, no te conviene ahora. No te conviene. No, no te conviene. Esperá, que no te conviene. Yo te aviso, todavía no. Por eso no hay clientela, porque tampoco quiero vender por vender, porque después quedo mal yo. Sí, aparentemente sí. La verdad. Ya estás pensando.
Just lovely.
Bueno, pero a mí me gusta. O sea, no me gustaba la otra negra, ¿qué crees? Yo me voy a comprar el tinto. El Tesla, boludo. No, el Tesla. No, boludo. Me voy a comprar un auto Tesla, boludo. Y listo. Punto.
So we're seeing the same pattern as his first game, where he was in this position. He will load 3 back from the northern boundary, going to yellow, which is by hoop 6 or by the penultimate hoop for him now. And he'll use this shot to tidy up yellow and then take off or maybe even rush down to the blue ball, which is his peel-E when he gets to penultimate, but now it's acting as his pioneer at 2 back. So he rushes down to the boundary near the 2-back hoop. He will croquet this yellow ball back up to the penultimate hoop, putting it on the eastern side, which is the side he wants it to be on after the peel, sending his striker ball to a position behind blue to get to the hoop and then through the hoop. All right, so he didn't quite get black in the right position, leaving him a reasonably long hoop approach. Again, he's been able to rush it into a position that's straight in front of the hoop, making his approach much easier, even though it's from probably 6 or 7 yards out. Oh, I'm sorry, probably 3 or 4 yards out. And as you can see, he's got himself in a really good position through the hoop with a rush back into court with the blue ball waiting there for him. Mm-hmm. So blue goes in front of penultimate in preparation for the penultimate peel before 4-back. Yellow's in position as the escape ball after the peel at penultimate, and he now takes off to red, which is sitting in a perfect position as his pioneer at 3-back.
Patty Chapman just sent a little encouraging note for Edmund. Go Ed.
Hello, Patty. Righty. So you can see he hit red a long way. This should enable him to run the hoop a little bit hard and still get a rush up toward the ball at penultimate. He may have overhit the hoop a little bit and gone further than he might like, but he's got a rush roughly in the right direction, if a little bit too far across court.
To the Irish, right?
Yeah. All right, he rolls up nicely. A bit of a longer roll than I think he would have liked, but he's handled it beautifully. He's very close to blue. He doesn't have to knock it out of position in order to roquet it. He's knocked it a little bit offline. So we saw in the last break that he was, in fact, I think he deliberately jawsed the peel which I'm going to assume is going to be his objective for this shot as well.
And very nicely done. It's 7:30 in the morning in New Zealand. You guys got up early to watch this croquet match.
Okay, different to the last break, he's approaching this from the playing side. I can't quite see from here, but my guess is that the ball's on the wire, not quite in the jaws. Now it's in the jaws nicely by the look of it. So he's going to croquet the blue down close to the rover hoop as he can, again avoiding the peg on the way. And he's got red waiting for him on the other side of penultimate to croquet and then continue the break. He'll be very happy with that. Blue is in a very nice position. That's not right. He's for 12 and 12, isn't he? Oh, 12. No. Yes, he is. You're right. I'm sorry. Now I'm doing it. It's clips. It's clips.
Oh, lovely.
Alrighty. So he's in front, almost in front, not quite perfectly in front. And remembering this is where the wheels fell off last time. He tried an Irish peel. Blue hit the upright and knocked black out of the way, so black could not run the hoop either. It's difficult to see from both this camera angle and where we're sitting how far from the hoop he is. There we go. That's difficult to see as well, but my guess is he's probably 1 to 2 feet from the hoop. Yeah, there we go. Looks like it's about 2 feet, less than a meter from the hoop. I'm sure he would have liked to be a little bit closer, but we'll see how he manages it this time. Yep, he's done that. Blue through, black in the jaws. Alrighty, so he may attempt to actually bombard blue away from the line between the ball and the hoop, because currently he's got the rover hoop in the way for a direct rush back up to the peg. Playing me, he actually attempted this, but the bombard missed, but he still managed to peg out nicely. Nope.
Missed it. I think it's offset a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty dead center.
He handles that interference by the rover hoop well. He's probably 2 yards, 2 meters from the peg, eminently hittable, well within his range. Yes, very nicely done. Takes
Okay,
both
Edmund
balls out.
has come through with a nice triple peel in the second game, and he will be a semifinalist.
We'll be right back.
All right, thank you very much. I might go and find a game. Have a game. Thank you.
Martin, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
commentary.
Now they all know I don't know what I'm talking about.
Eclipsing the sparkle of jewels and beyond collecting art. True luxury is not a thing acquired or a status to declare. Real, meaningful luxury is a feeling discovered. The opulence of spirit. The relaxed, resplendent luxury of the Sarasota area. Feel the difference.
The boundless natural world exists outside of us, and yet, the wonder and beauty of Sarasota's nature lives within each of us. It moves you with a kind of exhilaration that renews itself with every beat of your heart. Come and feel it for yourself. Nature's canvas awaits in Sarasota.
To discover the hidden gems of Sarasota, escape to Sarasota County, where sun-kissed beaches meet award-winning restaurants and vibrant cultural attractions. Plan your unforgettable getaway today.